This video is about the US invasion of Grenada, also known as Operation Urgent Fury. Operation Urgent Fury started on the 25th of October and ended on the 15th of December 1983. US forces could successfully invade Grenada with the support of Caribbean troops. In the end, they withdrew after reinstating Governor Paul Scoon and Prime Minister Nicholas Braithwaite. Grenada was not alone. Grenada was supported by Cuban forces. Before we come to the background, firstly, where is Grenada? Grenada is on the southeast of the Caribbean. In 1974, Grenada gained independence from Great Britain and became a member of the Commonwealth. But then there were rough times ahead for Grenada. In 1979, Maurice Bishop took over and he formed the People's Revolutionary Government, so he took a rather socialist course. Beginning 80s, there was an airport under construction on Grenada and it was very, very large. So the suspicion in the US, the suspicion was growing that this could be a military airbase, not a purely civilian airport, but also a military airbase servicing Soviet and Cuban squadrons. So a clear threat to the US. All in all, Grenada was very unstable. There was political violence and oriented towards socialism. And now the events leading to the war. Another coup d'etat in October 1983. The governor, Paul Scoon, was placed under house arrest and the former prime minister, Maurice Bishop, was murdered. Then the military took over, and they took over with drastic means. For instance, they imposed a curfew. Its violation would be punished by death. In this situation, Paul Scoon asked the United States and the Caribbean states for help, writing a letter. It has been said that this was later denied by Scoon. Anyway, the invasion was on, and Operation Urgent Fury started on the 25th of October 1983 at 0500 hours. All of the US forces were involved, mounting a total strength of 8,000. Supported by 350 Caribbean troops, Grenada had forces of 1,500, of a strength of 1,500, and there were 700 Cuban soldiers on the island. Commanders were Vice Admiral Joseph Metcalf and Major General Norman Schwarzkopf, who should internationally make a name for themselves less than 10 years later as commander in the Iraq War. US Marines were tasked to go ashore in the northeast of the island. Special forces should take over in the west. Navy SEALs north of the capital St. George's, Delta Force south. In south of the island, Navy SEALs landed, as well as Army Rangers, who were relieved by the 82nd Airborne Division. And they were supported then by Caribbean peacekeeping troops. It didn't take the US too long to take over, gain control, but it should be said that the forces, the opponents on Grenada were no pushovers. At a few locations, there were actually very, very fierce fighting going on. For the US forces, there were 19 killed and 116 wounded. For Grenada, 45 killed, 358 wounded. For Cuba, 25 killed and 59 wounded. It's estimated that 24 civilians died. As mentioned at the beginning, Paul Scoon was reinstated as Governor General and Nicholas Braithwaite was interim Prime Minister. A year later, there was a general election, so Grenada could return to democracy. In the US, the invasion was very, very popular, but not in the UN General Assembly, which condemned this invasion. But Reagan's reaction, typical Reagan, it didn't upset my breakfast at all. But it was not as easy. It has been said that there were problems for the special relations, so the US-UK relations, and the personal relations between Reagan and Thatcher, because there was an invasion and interference in a Commonwealth country, and Grenada was still a member of the Commonwealth. That was Operation Urgent Fury in 5.